Good evening, guys, all of you. Guys, I'm audible. Okay, so guys, here the next one is called as what now? Foreign key. The next constant. Okay. Key. The purpose of this constant. Okay, the purpose of this constant is what? And we use for making relationships between the tables. Okay, so basically, guys, here this constant will be used. So whenever relations in between the tables to make the the relationship to make relationship between tables. So whenever you want to making the relationship between tables, okay, there we should require your foreign keys. There we require a foreign key constant. We should be used for making of your relationships here. But guys, here whenever you want to making relationships in between tables, okay, so we have some basic rules we need to follow it, guys, here. So what kind of rules we can go to follow it here? Means the first one is called as guys here. In between which tables, that means whatever the tables you choose to making relationships, okay, so in those tables, okay, we should have a one common column should be there here. A common column name should be maintained in those tables, okay. Now, and the second one is a common column, which is your common column. The common column data type must be same here, okay, must be same. Okay, the data type compulsory we should have a same data types here. So we should have a one common column, okay, in between tables here. On which tables or else in between which tables are you making relationships? In those tables, we should prepare one common column name. And this common column name is our identity column, is a referential column also we can say. Okay, it's called as a referential key column also we can say. So the common column should be make it one, okay, in both tables, and that column data type compulsory same. Okay, that is one thing. And the later in the third one is what now, guys, here when we making the relationships between the table, okay, one table should have it, okay, one table should be having primary key, and second table, that means another table or second table should have a foreign key here. So these are the compulsory, okay, one table if it is having primary key and second table or some other table, it should be foreign key. But the point is what now? So in first table, okay, whatever the primary key column, and the second table, whatever the foreign key column, this primary key and foreign key column must be common column. Okay, must be common column. So that means here, what do you say here? Primary key and the foreign key column, okay, must be common column. Must be common column. Okay, now, so which is your common column in the both tables, and that common column only should be primary key in one table, and that common column only should be foreign key in a second table. Okay, that's what. And the second, another point is what now? Which table is called as primary key? That means primary key table we called as it's a parent table. Okay, and a foreign key table, okay, is called as what now? Child table. So primary, okay, so primary key table, so which table are you given? That means on which table it was their primary key constant. So the table, how it will be treated as by your SQL server means it will be treated as a parent table, and the parent key, okay, wherever you get given the foreign key constant on a column, so that foreign key column is called as what now? Child table. The foreign key column is called as what now? Child table. So this is one point should be written. And it means what now? By seeing of this, what you understand, the relationship, whatever we are creating between the tables, which kind of relations we are creating, guys, here means the parent and the child relations we are going to be created here. Okay, so my relation is which type of relation? Parent and child relations we create. Okay, right. And the next point is what now, guys, here? The foreign key column values, okay, must be primary key column values only. Okay, now for foreign key column values must be primary key column values only. Okay, so whatever the foreign key column is accepting the values, those values must be primary key column values only. So other than primary key column values, your foreign key will not accept it. Okay, for example, what is your example here, guys? So for example, let me see, I have E. Okay, so DEPT number. So this is my primary key column, for example, in the table 1. And here DEPT number, it is called as a foreign key column in the second table. So this is my first table and this is my second table. It was okay. So primary key and foreign key. So DEPT number, DEPT number. So come to the primary key is called as what now? Suppose in the primary key table, we have the numbers like 10 and 20 was there now and 30 was there. So these are the some department numbers which was having under primary key constraint column. So this is what now parent table. But whatever the referential column which was there in the second table, that is called a foreign key. And this column is also accepting only primary key column values only accepted. Only primary key values only accepted. Okay, so that means how it is means. For example, if I enter 10, 10 is allowed. If I enter 10, 10 is allowed. If I enter 20, 20 is allowed. If I enter 20, 20 is allowed. If I enter 30, 30 is allowed. So these all are accepting by foreign key column. Because of reason, the foreign key column, whatever the values are accepted here, those values must and should be have in the primary key. But if you try to insert the 40th number in your foreign key column, okay, then it was showing what now, guys, here error. Okay, so why it is showing error, sir? Because of reason the 40th number is not there in the primary key column in your parent table. So that's why the 40 I cannot go for that. Okay, so I can use 10. The 10 will be there in the primary key. So it is accepted 10, 10, 10. Any number of 10s you can accept it because it was available in the parent. And second one is called a 20. 20 is also accepted without having any problem. And 30, that is also accepted without having any problem. But other than 10, 20, 30, if you inserted any other value, then immediately it was showing what now? Error. Because of reason, this number is not having in the primary key column. Okay, now? So this is what it was going to be happen, guys. Okay, now? Right. And the next one, here observe. Okay, right. So this is one thing, guys, here, the one more point. And the next point here, observe. The foreign key column, okay, foreign key column is accepting duplicate values and nulls, okay, by default. Okay, so by default, guys, here your foreign key column is accepting here the duplicate and the nulls. Okay, so the same thing when I just come out and see, okay, if I want to use this, okay, in this here, so here you can see duplicates are there 10, 10, 20, 20. These are the duplicates. And 30 is also accepted here. But when I'm going to give it here, the null, if I want to insert, the null is also accepting into foreign key. Okay, now, but you people are asking here, so sir, but null is not there in the primary key. Actually, primary key is not accepted duplicates and nulls. Okay, but foreign key is accepted duplicates and nulls. Because of reason, every constraint is having its own nature. So one-to-one constants don't compare here. Okay, so the primary key nature is what it guys here. It doesn't accept a duplicate and nulls. That is the nature of primary key. But the foreign key is not like that. The foreign key is accepted. It's a duplicate values and null values. That's the default nature of your foreign key. Okay, now, so it will be null is allowed here and duplicates are also allowed here. Okay, so these are the few points, guys, here whenever you want to use foreign key, and to making relationships between the tables, must and should be used. These basic rules and points should be remembered here. Okay, now fine. And now let me see how we want to making relationships in between tables. Okay, that we will check out here one by one. Now, first of all, let me come out and taking the syntax of foreign key. How to making this foreign key means. So you should take here your common column name, common column of child table. Okay, and as usual, the table data type. And if it is required size, you can give a size. And after that, okay, so we are taking on this, we are applying what now? Foreign key constraint we are applying. So we applied which constraint? We applied on the common column of your child table means a foreign key. But this foreign key is taking references, from where it was taking references means it was taking references from parent table. So parent table of which column means a common column of a parent table. Common column of a parent. Okay, parent table. So otherwise you can say, instead of common column of parent table, otherwise you can say primary key column of parent table also we can say it. So this is your syntax guys here. So whenever you want to apply your foreign key, okay, then this syntax should be remembered. So this is my child table column and the column data type and size. And on this child table column, we applied your foreign key. And this foreign key column, whatever it is there, this column are you taking references from which table? Parent table. And parent table, which column are you taking here? Common column of a parent table. Okay, now this is what the syntax of foreign key, how to apply on your tables. So let me come out guys here and see that. Okay, so one example practically we can see, then you will get some idea. So what is what? And now come back to open your SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, let me come. And come to select your database MyDB6PM, and we just come out to open your MyDB6PM database and take your tables. And there are so many tables, we have it here. Okay, let me come out and see. Okay, some tables we are going to be designing here. First of all, I want to create my table. Okay, for example, DPT1, and here I will take department number, and on this department number, I'm going to apply here primary key. And after that, I will take it here department name. Okay, and I'm going just passing here the department name and just close it. So this is one table we are going to be designing guys here along with my primary key. And whenever you want to apply your primary key on particular column of a table, then this column, okay, sorry, this table is called as what now guys here? So it's called as a parent table. This is called as what now? Parent table. So after designing your parent table and later you need to insert some records into this parent table DPT number 1 and sending some values here. So department number 10 and I'm passing a sales department. Okay, and the next one is called as 20 and the department name is accounting. Okay, so these are the two departments details I'm inserting into my parent table DPT1. Okay, so after that, you just come out and see your table, select a star from DPT number 1. Okay, and to execute this one, let you come out and see your parent table successfully designed, and we inserted 2 records into this parent table. Okay, now fine. And after that, guys, here let me do one more table. I want to create the department related information is what now? Employee. So employee ID number integer. Okay, so now if you want to apply your primary key, okay, otherwise you can apply your unique constraint and make it not null. Okay, and my employee ID is always having in the unique, and it doesn't accept a not null and e-name. Okay, and after that I want to take my common column. I want to take it here. So what is my common column here? DEPT number is common column, data type is same data type, integer. And now you want to apply your foreign key. Okay, so you have to apply foreign key, and this foreign key, are you taking references? Are you taking references from which table, guys? Your parent table. What is the parent table? DEPT number 1 of which column? Common column, DEPT number column. Okay, now, so this is what I'm going to take in, guys, here. Okay, fine. So now here, this is what it was happening. So, but EMP number already is there here. So the table I just deleted from my database. So fine. So the table is successfully deleted. Okay, right. So here, this is parent and this is child. Can you see common column? So DEPT number and DEPT number, this is a common column. And in one table, DEPT number is a primary key. And the second table, DEPT number is called a foreign key. Okay, now, and the foreign key taking references from parent table of DEPT number column. Okay, now this is what it was happened. Okay, fine. So now let me see to executing this one. Okay, I'm just going to execute it here. The command completed successfully. The command completed successfully here. Okay, now fine. And after command is completed successfully, then later you want to insert some data. But carefully observe at the time of inserting the data into your EMP1 table, let me see, insert into EMP1 and sending values, guys, here. So ID number 1 and the name I'm passing here Smith, and the department number I will give it 10. So now tell me, guys, here the 10 department is there in my parent table. So 10 is there now. Come on, guys. 10 is there or not? Yes, the 10 was there in the parent table. So that was, so it was successfully accepted into your child table without having any problem because of reason the 10 was there in the parent table. So now let me come out and see your child table. So EMP number 1 and check out here. So it is successfully accepted now into my parent table. So department number 10. So like this, I can insert multiple, okay, employees information in my EMP1 table now. And the second I'm going to inserting, guys, here too. And the name is Alan. And okay, the ID was 10. So here, but we know that the foreign key column is accepting by default duplicates and nulls. So by this reason, it is also accepting to me into foreign key column. And let me come out and see your table EMP1, and it will be accepted here. In the same pattern, I'm going to sending in the next level. So the ID number 3, and I'm passing here the employee name word, and it was 20. The 20 is also sending here because 20 is also there in the parent table. So that's why it is also accepted to me. And after that, you have to see your child table. The 20 is also successfully accepted. But after that, if I want to insert, guys, here, suppose the next level, I'm inserting here the 4, and I'm sending some, okay, employee Miller, and we are sending here, for example, so 40 if I was given, otherwise I was given 30. If I'm giving 30 here, then what it was happen, you can see. So, and tell me, guys, here, the 30 was there in the parent table or not? Do you have a 30 in the parent table? No. So we don't have a 30 in the parent table. The parent table, okay, referenced column or primary key column is having only 10 and 20, but there is no 30. So that's why what it was happened. If I'm going to inserting this data into child table, and it was showing error to me. And what it was saying, guys, here, the insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constant. So ID, the conflict is occurred in the database MyDB 6 p.m. and DEPT1 and a DEPT number. Okay, now, so this is not allowed, and it was showing what? Error. But the same thing, guys, here, if I want to send it, okay, if I'm going to sending, okay, in place of 30, if I want to send null value, then what it was happen, guys, here, the null is accepted or not? Come on, guys. Null is accepted, huh? Yes. Now we can see I'm going to execute it here. So it is accepted now. And finally, you just come back and see your two tables information, the parent and child. Now you can see this is your parent table and this is your child table. And the common column is their DPT number. It's a primary key and foreign key. And the foreign key is accepted here multiples and also, okay, null. Okay, now, so but other than 1020, if you insert any other value, it is not allowed, but null is allowed because null is nothing but not a value. It's not a value. It's just an empty cell. It's just an empty cell. Okay, now, right. So now this is the relationships are happening. But in the future, suppose in the future, if I want to change my null value in the parent table, so in the future, if I want to change my null value in the child table, sorry, in the child table, if I want to change, so yes, you can do like this. Suppose I'm going to write in here update emp1 set DPT number is equals to 30 and where DPT number is null. So it means what I'm going to do, guys, here in the future, the whatever in child table, the department number column is null is there. So the department number column is null. I want to change with some number 30 because null is called as an empty cell. Null is called as an empty cell. So this empty cell, I'm going to fulfill with the 30 number. I'm going to fulfill with the 30 number. But tell me, guys, here the 30 number can I fulfill? Okay, in this empty cell, can I fulfill in this empty cell? Yes. No, we cannot fulfill into empty cell. Why, sir? Why, sir, we cannot fulfill the 30th number in my empty cell? What is the reason? Why 30 is not allowed here? Yeah. So because 30 was not there in the parent table. Okay, now 30 was not there in the parent table. So that is the reason here null. Okay, if null, that means this empty cell, if I want to update with the number 30, then it doesn't allowed here. It was showing error. Why it was showing, sir? Error means this 30 number is not there in the parent table referential column. So that's why, let me see, I tried to executing this update query. What it was happening, you can see it was showing error. It was showing error and it is not going to be updated here. And let me check to your tables. Still null is not updated here. But the same thing, the same null, okay, this is not possible. So it is showing, okay, it is not allowed here. It is not allowed. But if I want to send in place of 30, if I want to send a 20, can I allow this? The 20, can I allow here? Come on, guys. Yes, the 20 can allow here because 20, whatever we are going to be placing, the 20 in place of null. So that 20 was there in the parent table. So this is allowed and executing now. So successfully it was allowed, guys, here. So this is going to call allowed. And after allowed, you just come back and see your parent and child table that you see, guys, here. Yes, that null is successfully updated with the 20. Successfully updated with the 20. Understand my point now? Yeah. So this is the way the making relationships in between tables. Okay, fine. But guys, here observe. Okay, sir, we prepared here relationship in between the two tables. Okay, we prepared one relationship in between tables. That's okay. But guys, here, let me see. So after making the relationship in between tables, okay, this is the way you can establish your relationship. But once you establish your relationship in between tables, so what it was going to be happen, sir? Okay, so that is very important point here. So that I will write now. So what is my note point here? Okay, let me come. So once we establish a relationship between tables, there are three rules. There are three rules are coming to picture. There are three rules are coming to picture. Okay, so what are the three rules here? Okay, the first one is called as a rule 1. The rule 1 is called as a insertion rule. Okay, this is rule one. It will be get it here. And the second one is called as a rule number two will come to us. That is called as the updation rule. That is called a updation rule. And next, the third rule, the rule number three is called as a deletion rule. Is called as a deletion rule. Okay. So once you establish here the relationship between the tables, okay, okay, right. So what we said, guys, here, once we establish a relationship between tables, there are three rules are coming to picture. There are three rules are coming to picture. So what are those rules here? Okay, we said rule number one, insertion, and rule number two, okay, updation, and rule number three, deletion. These are the three rules are coming to picture. These are the three rules are coming to picture. Okay, now then what that rules are telling us? Okay, now so what it was telling us? The rule one, rule two, and rule three. What it was telling? What is the mean by insertion rule? What is the mean by updation? And what is the mean by deletion? Okay, let me come out here. The insertion rule, guys, here. So insertion rule, what it was tell us means, what it was tell us means, okay, so it was telling, observe. So we cannot insert a value, we cannot insert a value, okay, into child table. Okay, we cannot insert a value into child table. Child table means what now? Foreign key column. Okay, we cannot insert a value into child table. Okay, that and those values are not existing. Those values are not existing in parent table. So parent table means what now? Primary key. Okay, now so we cannot insert values, we cannot insert values into child table. Okay, we cannot insert values into child table. Okay, those values are not existing in parent table. So I already said to you, so whatever the parent table is having, those values only accepted by foreign key, and the value which you inserted into foreign key, if suppose that value is not existing into your primary key, then that values are not allowed into foreign key. This is the first rule it was telling us. Okay, and come to second rule. What is second rule means, guys? Here we cannot update. We cannot update. Okay, data in. Okay, yeah, data means row. Okay, we cannot update data in parent table. We cannot update data in parent table. Okay, in parent table. Okay, those corresponding those corresponding those corresponding those corresponding rows are existing, or rows are having, otherwise those are having in child table without addressing to child, without addressing to child. Okay, we cannot update data in parent table. Okay, which data those corresponding rows are having in your child table, and without addressing that. Okay, now in the same to same, guys, here deletion rule. So deletion rule, what it was telling guys here, so we cannot delete data, we cannot delete data is nothing but row. We cannot delete a row from parent table, okay, those corresponding rows are available or having in your child table without addressing to child. Okay, so these are the three rules are coming to picture after making relationships in between the table in SQL Server. Okay, now these are the three rules will be come to you. So let me see, I will show you practically what is the mean of your updation, deletion, and insertion. Okay, let me come and see. So come to your database, and these are the two tables I have it here, the parent and child table, and having some information already. So now my rule one, I want to check now. the rule number one. What is the rule number one? For example, I'm going to inserting here. Insert into child table emp1, sending values. Okay, the 5 comma, the name is Scott, and I'm sending 30. So now here the 30th department number details I'm inserting into child table. But tell me guys, here this 30th department number is available or is existing in your parent table? No. So now if I go to executed here, it was showing error. Okay now. So we cannot insert values into child table. Those values are not existing under parent table primary key. Okay now. So this is the rule number one. Example, what is the mean by rule number one? This is the mean by rule number one. Okay now. This is the mean by rule number one. And come to my second rule. What is my second rule is telling us updation rule. So updation rule, what it was tell us? Updation rule, what it was tell us? Okay, so it was tell us we cannot update data in parent table. Those corresponding rows or data are having in the child table without addressing to child. So without addressing to child, you cannot update your parent table data. Okay, that is the rule number two. It was going to be saying us. Okay, let me see the practically what it mean. Guys, I'm audible. Guys, I'm audible. Guys, now check out here, all of you. Is it audible, guys? Now it is okay, my voice? Now check out. Now it is okay. Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, second rule. So what is the second rule, guys, here? Without addressing to the child table, we cannot update your data into parent table. Okay, what it mean here? Okay, for example, you can see the second rule. Okay, for example, come to my parent table is there. Parent and child tables, you can just come out. Okay, suppose are you doing your updation operation? Okay, so we are writing, guys, here. Okay, update. Okay, okay, DEPT1, because it is a parent table. Okay, now DEPT1 set which column? Your referenced column. DEPT number is 1. So where DEPT number is equals to 10. So in my parent table, this is my parent table DEPT1. In the parent table, DEPT number 10 is there. The 10 I want to update with the 1. I'm going to update with the 1. Okay, now, but when I'm going to update it here, what it was happen, you can see. Why it is not updated, sir? Why it is not updated, sir, means this 10 is having the corresponding rows in your child table. Yes or no, guys? The 10, whatever we are updating in the parent, the 10 is having the corresponding tens in a child table. So whenever this parent is having children's, without addressing to children's, you cannot update your parent. Okay, so this is called a parent. 10 is a parent here. And this parent is having how many children's? This parent is having how many children's? Come on, guys. This parent is having how many children's? Two children's are there. So now a parent is having children's in child table. At this moment, without addressing to child table, you cannot directly update your parent. Now you can see I'm just directly updating my parent. So what it was happening when I go to execute here, it was showing again error. So you cannot update your, okay, you cannot update your parent data. Why, sir? Why you cannot update parent data? Means your parent is having some children's. Your parent is having some children's in child table. So that's why without addressing to child, without addressing to children's, you cannot update parents directly. That is a second rule is telling us, guys. That is the second rule is telling us. Okay, now fine. And come out and third rule, rule number 3. What we said, rule number 3, we cannot delete a data from a parent table. Okay, because those corresponding rows are having in the child table without addressing to child. So let me come out and see my rule number 3 also. We need to check out here the rule number, okay, the rule number 3, I'm going to checking now. So before I want to check this one, okay, before I want to check this one, the first I have to go for, okay, to take here the two tables information you can see. So come out and see, guys, here information here. So parent table 1020 was there, and child table is also having 10 10 20 20s. Suppose in this any one record from the parent table, if I try to delete now, if I try to delete now, so what it was happen, you can see. Suppose I'm going to pass in here delete from DEPT1. Okay, so where DEPT number is equals to 20. But guys, here are you trying to delete your parent data? Yes or no? The parent row data are you deleted? But tell me, guys, here this parent is also having children's now. Yes or no, guys? This parent is also having children's now. Yes, this parent is also having children's. So whenever it was having children's, again, the problem is what now? Without addressing to children's, you can't directly delete your parent. If you try again, it was showing error. It was showing error. So this is what we called as the rule number 3 definition here. The rule number 3 definitions. So these are the 3 rules are come into picture once you are establish your relationships in between tables. Okay, now and now tell me guys here, after seeing these 3 rules, along with practically, now tell me guys here, if we have a chance, then which rules can be changed? If we have a chance, then which rule can be changed? Is it first rule or second rule or third rule? What is your opinion? What is your opinion, guys? Which rules we can change? First, second, or third? Here, one thing observe carefully. So first rule is what it was telling guys here, first rule. What is the mean by first rule here? Observe. Some people are having a little bit confusion. So first rule is what it was telling guys here. No parent is equals to no child. This is first rule. First rule, we cannot insert values into child table. Those values are not existing in the parent. So that means what it means, no parent, no child. Okay, now this rule is possible to change, guys. Is there any possibility was there to change this rule? Come on. No, we cannot change. No, we cannot change because it's never impossible. Without a parent, how the children will come? Without a parent, how the children will come? Okay, now this is what it was saying that guys here, no parent, no child. It is a fixed rule, guys here. Observe carefully. It is a fixed rule, and even though, okay, the God also cannot change this rule. Okay, the God also we cannot change this rule. It's a universal truth. It's a universal rule. The universal rule, even the God also cannot change. So that's why we can't change this rule. This is called a fixed rule. When there are no parent, no children's. Without parents, impossible to have a children's. Okay, so that already you know, all of you, because you all are maturity people, you can understand that. I don't want to give much explanation on that. Okay, now, right. Next one is what now? Updation rule. Updation rule and deletion rule, these 2 rules carefully observe. What is the 2 rules, guys, here? Without addressing to child, you cannot update. Without addressing to child, you cannot delete. So that means just logically think, without addressing, okay, what it was telling this rule, guys? Without addressing, careful observe, without addressing, okay, to child, what it was saying that we cannot update. We cannot update. So this is actually rule. So quite opposite you can go. Here what it was telling us, without addressing to child, we cannot. Okay, now it means that suppose if I am going to address, okay, if I'm going to address, so with the addressing to child, then it is possible now. Yes or no, guys? Come on, quite opposite reaction. It's a clearly telling us without addressing to child, you cannot update. So just logically think, without addressing to child, we cannot. It means what? Suppose with addressing, sir, if I'm going to addressing to child, then I can now. Yes or no? Then I can. Okay, so that is a point here. So that means we have a chance to change my second rule. We have a chance to change my second rule. Okay, now in the same to same, third rule also same now. Same meaning will come now. Third rule also. What is your third rule here? What is your third rule here? Okay, without addressing to child, we cannot delete. It means that with addressing to child, we can delete na? Yes or no? Yes, we can delete here. We can delete here. So this is what we called as a rule number 2 and 3. So that means rule number 2 and 3, there is a chances to update, to delete. But when I can update, when I can delete means whenever you want to addressing to child. Okay, then the question will come to you guys here. What is our question? How to address, how to address to child, how to address to child or child table. So this is our question mark, guys, here. This is our question mark. So how to addressing to your children's. Okay, how to addressing your children's. So this is what we can ask here. Okay, for this addressing purpose, what kind of the rules was introducing by Mr. E.F. Codd. So he's a scientist of relational database management system. Mr. E.F. Codd, what kind of the rules are using by, okay, people to address your child. Understand now? Right. So that how it is, what are those, and how many rules are there to addressing your child, how many ways are there to addressing your child, and what are those, so that we will discuss in tomorrow's session, guys. Okay now, so tomorrow we will see the next part is what now, how to addressing your children's. So what kind of rules which was there to address our child. Okay now, so that we will discuss in the tomorrow part. Tomorrow means tomorrow Sunday na, Monday part we will discuss. Okay, Monday part we will discuss. Yeah, okay, guys. That's guys. So I stop it here. Yeah, as usual, if you have any